Hey, it's Jake G33 here, bringing you another paranormal story. It's always true, always genuine. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll get right into it. So, last time I told you guys I was going to give you stories of whenever I was with friends and ended up seeing ghosts or something happening with ghosts. So, I'm going to give you two different stories this time around just because one of them's real short. Um, Now, the first one, that was with my one buddy. We ended up one day going over to his house, and when we got to his house, I had been explaining something about the paranormal activity that had been happening to me. And in the meantime, he was like, some strange stuff happens over here too. And I'm like, okay, well, what kind of strange stuff? And he explains to me that whenever he'd be up in his room in the attic, that um, the doorknob on his door would start shaking, like someone was on the other side trying to get in. And I was just like, oh, okay. Ended up getting in there, and within an hour, that doorknob, while we were playing video games in his room, starts shaking like crazy. And I turn and I look at it, and this thing is moving up and down, and it's not a regular doorknob, it's a door handle, and it's moving up and down like this. And the moment I see it, I'm like, holy cow. And I hadn't heard anybody come up the stairs or anything, and I just look, and then it all stops. I look over at him, and he just says, yep, that was it. And I get up, walk to the door, open the door up, and of course nobody's there. You'll come to find out a lot of the things that people wind up telling me about their homes. The X Factor, it always winds up happening. Always happens while I'm there. The big X Factor is always, I'm just there. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but it happens. The next story is like perfect, a perfect example of like just manifestation that happened. This one's a little longer, so stick in here with me. Me and three of my friends, we were at this party of one of my other buddies. We had just won a football game, and his parents weren't home, so we had a little party over there. And while I was over there, we started to hear that people were going to be going down the street to this old schoolhouse that was completely abandoned, and nobody was ever there. And they said they were going to go down there. Well, we heard this, and of course, we four got together, and we were like, hey, you know what? We're going to go down to that schoolhouse and wait for people to come to that schoolhouse, and we're going to scare the hell out of them. And it sounded like a lot of fun, and I was like, I'm down. Let's do this. And so me and my three buddies, we start walking to this schoolhouse. And while we're walking to this schoolhouse, um, we're talking about all of this paranormal stuff and all this, and just because I was there, and that's just that's just me. So um, as we're walking down, my one buddy, he looks up, and I'd never been to this schoolhouse before. I knew nothing about it. And the only thing that was lighting the schoolhouse up was the moonlight. And it was dark. You couldn't see hardly anything in front of you. We were pretty well just going to use like phone flashlights to be able to navigate through the school. And what ended up happening was, as we're walking along with the moon shining on the school, you could see where some of the windows were busted out. And one of my buddies like goes, hey Jake, he's like, see that broken out window right there? And I'm like, yeah, I see that. And he goes, wouldn't it be crazy if just like some red eyes just like flashed in that window? And I was like, yeah, that'd be pretty crazy, like it'd be pretty wild. And we all keep on walking, and we're all looking down, and then suddenly Our friend at the end of the line ends up looking up and he goes, "Guys, do you see that?" And we all look up at the same time. And in that same exact window, there is a white fluorescent head that looked like it was like almost like smoke that was in that same window. And I kid you not, it had red eyes. And we all stood there and we stared at this thing for probably 5 to 7 seconds until the biggest guy in our group, the scariest one of us all, ends up turning around, screaming, and running back towards the house. So once he took off running, we all kind of fell suit with that. And we turned around and we all started running. And the way I looked at it was, I'm faster than all these guys. I'm gonna, if anything's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen to me. So I took off running as fast as I could and got away from all of them. And in the meantime, though, as we were running, we were actually passing a large group that was going to be going to that schoolhouse. Now, that this is a country road out in the middle of nowhere, so it's a long ways away. So we pass up this group and they're like, what's going on? And we we're yelling, we're telling them that with what we just saw. And as we're running down the road, we wind up getting to the house, and once we get to the house, we all congregate again, and we're just like, okay, so what did you, that was my first question, is what did all of you guys see? Because I know what I saw. What did you guys see? And of course, every single one of them said the same exact thing. It was a glowing head in that same exact window, and it had red eyes. So what do you guys think happened there? It was a compelling moment that really shook all four of us up, just because who would have thought that was going to happen? Was it just a manifestation of what we had just talked about, or what could have possibly been there? It was truly incredible when that happened. A little later after that, we ended up we tried to do like a little ghost hunting thing at that place. And the moment I walked into that place with 2 fully charged batteries completely sucked dry, and we weren't able to get anything happening in there. And honestly, there were way too many people with us at the time, and it wasn't even worth going. So if I were to ever do anything like that again, then it's going to be either me by myself or me and one other person, because I feel like that's the only way you're going to know if you're going to actually catch anything, or if you're going to be able to discern things from other things. Because if you got too many people, it's not even worth going. Just letting you know. All right, let me know what you guys think. The next story, let me think. It's gonna be, okay. The next story is gonna be with the staircase and the door. I'll let you guys know about that next time. Like, subscribe, comment. You guys have a good one. Thanks. Bye.